Welcome back to the channel, my brothers from a different mother. My name's Andy R and this is the Brotherhood of Men Bomb. Today I'm going to do the video I promised you. I asked a while back on the channel, I did a survey and asked if you would like me to do a long form video on why men should avoid, don't date, don't marry, don't get engaged to single mothers. And overwhelmingly the response was yes please. 97%, if I remember correctly, was the result of that survey. So this is that video. So let's get into it. Okay, a long form video. This is going to be long. So strap in, get yourself a nice drink, and listen, open up the lug holes and take the information in, because this just may save you from making a disastrous decision in your life, and that is to get with long term a single mother. Okay, let's start right at the beginning. Why shouldn't you date a single mother? I read a survey. You're going to laugh at this because it made me laugh outright. I read an article written, funnily enough, by a woman. I'm only assuming that she was a single mother because it was a very salty article. And it said 10 reasons you should marry, not date, marry a single mother. I thought, well, this is going to be good. There's going to be some really cogent, well thought out arguments here on why they're such a valuable asset in a man's life. Couldn't wait to read it. I was so disappointed. These 10 reasons were so vacuous, so empty, nothing reasons, but we're trying to build them up as though these are things that you should aspire to. But one of those reasons stood out amongst all the others. The others were just fluff, but this one stood out and made me laugh out loud. And it went something like this, because I'm not reading from the article now, so bear with me as I paraphrase. But it was something like this. She already knows how to run a household and a budget, so she's an asset in your life. Are you mentally unstable? The main reason that you think a man should get with a woman is because she can do the basics of a grown human being. She can look after herself. Well done. Bravo. I hope you're all laughing at this as well. She already knows how to run a household and a budget. Well, so do you. You look after your own life. You know how to spend your money. But what she was really saying in that small snippet that I've just given you, and all the rest of them were pretty similar things, is that one of them was also, what was it, she comes with all of that experience. Again, a woman who's not listening to what men want. But anyway, going back to this, she knows how to run a budget in a household. You already know how to do that for yourself. You are already an independent man. You do the things that women were traditionally their roles. You can cook for yourself. You can clean up after yourself. You can budget your own bank account. You can pay your bills. All of these things were what women traditionally did in the household. They ran the household. And now she's got a child and you're expected to give her control over your budget? I don't think so. Just because she can run a budget, the basic minimum of a grown human being is that she can look after herself, and now you're expected to hand over all of your resources for her to budget? No. Don't think so. Don't think that's a good reason. Don't think that's a reason at all. But this is in one, like I say, this article was very salty. All of the reasons were basically clutching at straws, because when I explain to you why it's detrimental for you as a single man to go and date, engage and marry a single mother, I think you'll take on board the message I'm giving and steer well clear before you wreck your life. One of the main reasons, and this really is a biggie, it's huge, and that is you are willingly cuckolding yourself. Now that is a horrible word, cuckold, especially when you know the real meaning behind that word. Now more recently that meaning has become something along the lines of another guy shagging your girlfriend, fiance, wife, and you finding out about it. No, that's just cheating. That's not really what cuckoldery means. Let me explain to you. The word comes from the word cuckoo, from the bird, a cuckoo. A cuckoo lays its egg in another bird's nest. That chick hatches and kills and destroys all of the other eggs, so that the adopted parent birds put all of their energy into raising a chick that isn't theirs. Even to the glaring obvious that this chick grows to 5 times the size of the parent birds, they still ignore that and use all of their energy catching insects to feed a bird that doesn't carry their DNA. That is what a cuckold is. That is where the word cuckoldry comes from, the word cuckoo. And it is the worst, most diabolical, disgraceful, dishonest thing a woman could ever do to any man on this planet. And that is get pregnant by another man and palm it off as your child. So you're using your time, resources and energy to raise another man's DNA. Because we know as men, and so do women, that having children is our shot at immortality. It's the way we pass our genes on through the generations. We know we're not going to live forever, so the only way that we can have a stab at immortality is that our genes are passed on. And this is the same in the whole animal kingdom. This is why any creature vies for the attention of a female. The female gets to reject or accept the best mate that she can, so that they can pass on the strongest genes to their offspring, in the attention that they are going for immortality. Every species on the planet does this. We humans are no different. Just because we've got really developed brains does not mean that we are above the animal kingdom. We are part of the animal kingdom. So when I say it's the most disgusting, most heartbreaking, most down-to-earth, dishonest and despicable thing a woman can do to a man, I can't emphasize this enough, that a woman who has another man's child and tries to pass it off as yours in that relationship is absolutely without morals. But if you get with a single mother, you are voluntarily doing that to yourself. You already know this child doesn't carry your DNA. You already know this child is not your progeny. Yet that woman still expects you to spend your time, energy and resources in raising her child, it's definitely hers, but nothing to do with you. And everything that follows from that child is all downside for a man. All downside. What do I mean by that? Well, let's be honest. For a start, you're not going to be able to discipline that child. It's not your child. You have no rights over that child. It's her child. You can't tell that child off. Give it a smack on the bum when it steps out of line. Tell it right from wrong. The moment you try, see how Mama Bear jumps in and jumps down your throat. You will find out where your place is then. But why should she respect you? I mean, come on. You're a cuckold. You've decided to take on another man's progeny, another man's DNA, and use your resources to raise it. No, I'm sorry, you're better than that, my brothers. Don't fall into that trap. And as I said, if you try to correct that child, she will defend the child, no matter how abhorrent the child's behaviour is, no matter what it does. Maybe it went outside and keyed your car and poured bleach in your eyes at night, and you went batshit and told them that's not good. She will defend that child's terrible actions because it's her child. Yet, if they get into some sort of danger, she wants you to put your life on the line to defend her and her child. See where that goes? But that child is nothing to do with you, really. Not your progeny, not your DNA. And now you're expected to put your life on the line to defend a child that has no link to you at all. Which brings me to the next point. If you have no link to this child, where is the fidelity? Where is the I'm going to stick with this man through thick and thin for our child? Do you not think if she's seeing some better specimen than you, someone who's got better resources than you, somebody who probably has just got the right amount of chat on the right day, she's not going to say, hey, I might just try him out for a bit of fun. It won't hurt him because he'll never know about it. And besides which, she has no respect for you. You've already proved yourself to be a cuckold. You've already proved yourself that you're not anything that be classed as a strong, successful alpha male, because you're providing for a child that's not yours. So she has no respect for you, but she expects you to provide for her. But if something better comes along, guess what you'll find out then? You're disposable. And if you've lived with her for long enough, and in certain countries, you will be held financially responsible for that child. Why? Because you chose to take the role of father, whether you married her or not. If you were just with her long enough and that child bonds with you, the courts will look at it as though you are now responsible for that child because that child sees you as a father figure. It's messed up, but you don't need to go down that route because it will wreck your life. Now, I'm sure there are brothers out there who have met these women, who have had relationships with these women, and know everything I'm saying to all the other brothers out there is the gospel truth. So please, leave a comment down in the comment section, obviously, and tell the other brothers your experience. Tell them what I'm saying is true, that this is not a good choice for a man. It will wreck their lives. I can't emphasize that enough. Now, say the father is still in the picture. He might not be with the woman, but he still has visitation. You've got to put up with that. You've got to put up with that from two directions as well. So you're putting up with it from the child. I'm going to see my real daddy. I'm going to see my father. She's telling you all along, you're not her daddy. You have no rights. You can't tell him what to do. But her daddy can. Then you get it from the other side. Three sides, actually. You get it from, do you think he thinks you're a great guy? He doesn't get to see his daughter, his son, whatever, every single day like he wanted to. When he was in a relationship with this woman, he only gets to see that child on short visits, maybe every weekend, every 2 weeks, or some time over the summer holidays or something. He gets to spend a holiday with them. When that child says to him, Mummy's got a new boyfriend, he's moved in, he sees her, they sleep together, all of that stuff. Do you think he's going to go, oh, well, that's great for her, what a great guy? No, he's going to be bad-mouthing you. He's going to be dripping poison in her ear because you're trying to take the role of him as father. So he's going to say things like, listen to me, son, daughter, whichever. He's not your daddy. Don't forget that. Don't let him tell you what to do. I'm your dad. You listen to me. I'm your father. He's going to be saying all of that. So she's going to come back with an attitude. And over time, that attitude has become more and more prevalent and more poisonous to your relationship with the mother. Because that's who you wanted to get with, was the mother. And I'm not one who's going to sugarcoat this. Some of those single mothers out there are absolutely gorgeous looking. Great bodies on them. Absolutely fantastic. Most of them are average looking, or just above average looking, but there was enough there that you were attracted to them by their looks, number one, and then as you got to know them, you found there was a little bit more than just their looks. So you were going, you know what, hey, I want to get... Then you find out she's a single mother. She will tell you from the bat, hey, we're a package deal. And quite rightly so would she say that. Absolutely rightly so would she say that. But did you know that right from the get-go when you were first attracted to her? Or did it go on for a while before she dropped the bombshell, she's a single mother? Hoping that she's already caught your interest, maybe already bedded you, maybe already got her hooks into you, hoping that you would accept that. And so many men fall for this ploy, it is unreal. Start using this brain instead of the Todger brain. That one's got no conscience. That one will constantly look up to you with its one eye and go on, do it, yeah, go on, do it, mate, go on, I'm right behind you, go on, I've got your back, mate, I've got your back. But the moment it all falls apart, it's slumped over at the side going, I don't know what you were thinking, it wasn't my fault. Don't think with the Todger brain, think with the big brain. Do what is best and right for you. Because that guy knows nothing other than, do it, go on, do it, I've got your back. He is the worst motivational speaker in the world, because all he ever says is, yeah, go for it. Anyway, back to why you shouldn't really get involved with single mothers. Don't date, don't get engaged, do not, for goodness sake, get married. Full stop. Never mind married to single mothers, just don't get married. It's not for men, but I'm going to do another video about that in the future. If that's something that you think you're going to enjoy, or at least get some information out of, please leave it down in the comments below. Also, whilst you're there, on the way up, hit the like button. Also, if you're not already subscribed, come on. Hit the subscribe button. There it is, just there, just there. If it's red, you haven't subscribed, so turn it grey, hit the bell notification. I am going to still be putting these videos out with a lot of information in there, a lot of things for you to think, use the rational male mind to think about. So, I've covered a couple of points already. Let's carry on. You're not going to be the priority in her life. And rightly so. Let's not make any bones about this. Let's not excuse situations. Her number one priority is going to be her children. Of course it is. That's what it means to be a mother. Her first priority, her first responsibility is going to be the well-being of her children. But that's the important point you need to take on board here. Her children, not yours. You come well down the list of priority for her. You're going to be behind her children, number one. You're going to be behind her, herself. I mean, let's be honest, she's got kids. It's a little bit narcissistic to be going out trying to catch a man, but she's doing it so she can have more resources for her kids. So she's looking after herself as well. She knows if she can catch you, you are going to put your resources, time, energy, money, everything you have into looking after her and looking after her children, not your children. Remember that. Don't ever think that they become your children. Even if you're daft enough to adopt them, they are not your children. Never will be. They didn't come from your balls, therefore they're not yours. But that's the second one. You're down there. You're behind her. You're behind her children. You're also behind her parents. She puts their needs and wants above yours. They call up, hey, we need you, sweetheart. Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be going in a few minutes. Can you look after the kids? Can you look after her kids while she goes off and does something to somebody who's more important to her than you? Not, will you come with me? Or we need to go and see my parents. No, so her parents. You're behind the dog or cat, whichever pet she has. You're behind them because she has no respect for you. Why would she? Why would she have a respect for a man like that who looks after somebody else's children and raises them? You need to think about that, guys. Really, really think about it. This sounds like I'm haranguing you. This sounds like I'm being so forceful, and I am. Because you need to understand this. You are gaining nothing from a relationship with a woman who has children before she met you. Also, you've got her, like I said, the father's still in the situation, maybe, he's still in the lives. You've got her bitching and whinging about it, about, oh, he's a waster, he's a loser, he never has the child benefit, he never has the money here on time, he's always late to pick her up, he's this, that and the other, he's all these things, and you've got to sit there and listen to it. You've got to sit and listen to her badmouth a guy she gave her womb up to and had a child with. You haven't even had that privilege, that honour, but she expects you to sit there and listen to this and give her sympathy? Oh no, that's terrible, sweet. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, but a conversation like that is instant todgy flopper. She might as well spray your groin. It's like, you know, oh yeah, now I'm really attracted, now I'm really turned on, whilst you badmouth a guy you gave your womb up to and had a child or children with. And now he's this horrible, terrible monster. And why did they split up in the first time? Because she will tell you that he was a monster. That will be it. Whether she cheated on him or not, whether she was an absolute harridan, constantly nagging him in the ear until he had enough and just said, I can't live with this anymore, and left. Maybe he did cheat on her, but why? Why would a man cheat on a woman that he's had a child with? Maybe because he wasn't getting his needs met at home. Maybe because she was so disagreeable that he had to go and find comfort in the arms of another. But she'll never tell you any of that. No, it's all his fault. What she's really telling you is, I'm completely broken for the fact that this man I had a child with rejected me. And now I'm having to settle for you. Read between the lines, that's what she's saying. And you're there, giving your time, effort, finances, all of your resources to raise another man's child. It's all downside. Don't do it. Why would you put yourself in a position like that? Now we get to the fact that you're little more than an ATM to her. She's already seen your assets as her assets. Her assets are her own. There's that old saying, what's mine's mine, but what's yours is mine as well. That's how a woman thinks. That's why she wanted you in the first place. For what you could provide for her and her children, her offspring, not your DNA. So she sees you as an ATM machine. She sees you as lifting her budget up. She can already budget and run a household. Yeah, she can run it a lot better with your money as well. Let's not be beating about the bush here. There are no positives to this scenario of dating, being engaged to, marrying, living with a single mother. Unless you're a single father. But you won't get a look in with her. Because, you see, even in that scenario, you would think that would be the best situation, wouldn't you? You would think that would be the best meld of a blended family. You're a single father, You're looking for companionship in your life. You meet a beautiful woman, but she's got a child as well. But hey, that's okay. She's a single mother. You're a single father. You have parity. You're on the same level. No, you're not. No, hypergamy tells that woman she wants nothing to do with you as a single father because she wants better than you. She wants a single man. She wants somebody who can put all of his energy into her and her child. She doesn't want you spending any of that energy on your own child. No, her single-minded laser vision goal is for you to supply her and her child. Well, let's just look at that scenario for a second, shall we? Excuse me. If that woman thinks that way, she's delusional. And that's another reason why you shouldn't be with her. Let me explain that. It sounds like a bold statement. Let's see if I can back it up. If you can look after yourself financially and everything else, emotionally, etc., and your child, and have the resources to look after her and her child, why wouldn't you pick up somebody who hasn't got a child? Who can give her time and energy to you and your child? If you can already afford to do that, you can definitely afford to look after a single woman. That's why she would be delusional in thinking that, hey, this guy, I might put up with him although he's got a child because, hey, he can look after me and my child. But why would you? Cuckold, remember? Why would you do that to yourself? You've already got your own child you're looking after and yourself. And if you can afford to look after her and her child, you can definitely afford to look after just a single woman with no child. So she loses out in that race. The fact of the matter is, she's already lost out in the dating game. You're picking up somebody else's scraps. Dating a single mother is like picking up a video game that somebody else has played and carry on playing it from where they saved. Why would you want to do that? You're quite literally making yourself out to be a fool. No man wants to be thought of as a fool, and men who do this are thought of as a fool by other men. Your peer group is going to look down on you, is going to think of you as less of a real man than you think of yourself. There'll be smiles and that to your face and go, hey, well, you know, if you're in love, hey, well, you know, it's, the heart wants what the heart wants. But they'll be thinking to themselves, what an absolute prat. Why would you do that for yourself? To yourself. She's not doing it to you. You're doing it to yourself. Do not get involved with single mothers. There are plenty of single women out there who don't have that baggage, and it is baggage with all downside. It's a terrible place to be, is stepfather. Stepping into that role, whether it's through marriage or just living together or even dating, you will be seen as the stepfather, and that is a terrible, terrible place to be. I know because I've spoken to men who did that and it broke up, it fell apart, and they said to me a lot of what I'm telling you now. It's a terrible, terrible position to be in with no upside. Not long term. Initially, at the beginning, the lust part and all that, yeah, it's great. It seems fantastic. If only that'll last forever, because that's how men get into relationships. We want everything to stay the same. At that high level of lust and sexual attraction right at the beginning. We don't want that to change. We want that forever. And that's how we think. Whereas women get into it and they have the lust and the attraction and all that with plans of things changing down the line. They want to change you to fit them. So men go into relationships thinking, I want everything to stay the same. And women go into relationships thinking, this is okay for now, but I want to change it for better. Better is the opposite of good, not bad. When people try to make things better, they often cock it up without realising how good they had it. So let's carry on. Reasons why you shouldn't date a single mother. As I spoke about earlier, she doesn't really have any respect for you. And if you don't respect somebody, do you think you're going to stay faithful to that person? If you don't respect somebody in the business world, in your personal life, are you going to jump in and defend that person? Do you think she's telling her friends what a great guy you are? Or is she telling them, oh, he's okay, he's not bad in bed, something better will come along? Because, like I said before, you're disposable. As soon as something better comes along in the horizon, you are going to be thrown over for the next guy that she's hoping to put a clause in. But she's going to keep you as a backup plan because she has no respect for you. She has no real feelings for you, not deep emotional feelings for you. She hasn't given you her womb like she did some guy before her who she's already proved that she can't be in a relationship with. She had a child with that guy, but she can't make it work for the child's benefit. She's selfish. She's extremely selfish because she didn't go through hell and high water to keep that relationship with the real father going. Unless he was knocking her about and was so bad to her that she couldn't stay into it, which is what she's going to tell you. But that happens a very small amount of times in these relationships. Most of the time it's because she was bored. She'll tell you she was unhappy in the relationship. What the hell does that mean? Who told women that they deserved happiness? Happiness is a very short, fleeting stage in most people's lives. We have moments of happiness. We're not deliriously happy throughout our whole lives. That would be ridiculous and unachievable, unattainable, completely in the stratosphere. We can't reach it. We reach moments of happiness. And we remember those moments and want more of them. But she wasn't happy in the relationship. Well, what did she do to make the relationship work, to make it better? Did she sit down with this guy that she had a child with and said, hey, I'm not happy. Why aren't you happy? Blah, 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 this, that and the other. Most of the reasons that they give for their unhappiness are just outright stupid. But she's blown it up into this massive mountain. She's made a mountain out of a molehill over something that she's not happy. So much so that she completely ruined her relationship with the father of her child and then regretted it at her leisure, and now he's the monster. He's dazed and confused, going, what's going on here? And now he has to deal with the fact that there's another man in her life playing daddy with his child. Yeah, he's not going to be a happy bunny, but you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with the child keep telling you you're not his father or her father, and you're going to have to put up with the ex of this guy telling you how bad he is. Yeah, that sounds like a really good deal, guys. Oh yeah, grab that with both hands. I don't think so. Do not date, do not get engaged, do not live with, do not marry single mothers. Stay away. Let them stay in their bubble as a single mother. That's where they chose to be. Because if they're a baby mama, the lowest of the ranking, that's where they chose to be. They never got married, weren't in a long-term stable relationship, and had children, maybe multiple children from multiple fathers, proving again how terrible they are at making decisions. Hey, you could be the next father. So if you do sleep with these single mothers, make sure you wear a condom and take it home with you or flush it down the toilet. Do not allow her access to your sperm. Make sure you protect yourself if you do sleep with them, because they've already proved they have no problem with having children. They've already had one. And why would you want to be with a single mother? Their bodies have already changed through the process of having a child. A single woman who's had no children is going to be fitter, she's going to be tighter, she's going to be more supple, and she's not going to have any of the long-term or short-term health problems that comes with giving birth. that do happen when a woman gives birth. You only put up with all of those changes when the child she gave birth to was yours. So why would you put up with all of that when it's not even yours? No upside to this relationship. You become financially responsible if you've been with her long enough. The courts will actually recognise you as taking the role of father. You don't get the benefits of it being your DNA, your progeny. You don't get the benefits of you actually having some legal rights over that child. No, that still stays with the real father. But you do get the financial burden, if you split up, of you carry on providing for a child that isn't yours. All of these things are going to harm you. Why would you do that to yourself? You're smart men. Start thinking with this brain and tell this one to shut up. It doesn't know what it's talking about. It has some great ideas of things you can do in bed with this woman, but all of them will lead you to destruction if you don't listen to this one first. Am I getting through to you guys? Do you are starting to take on the message? Are you starting to understand just how serious this is? If so, leave it in the comments down below. Tell me that I'm making sense, because all I make these videos for is to try and steer you men out there from making terrible decisions, from harming yourself. I'm your brother. I don't want you harmed. Anyway, let's carry on. If I haven't given you enough already, I mean, come on, by this point you must be hanging your head going, oh my God, what was I thinking? I was attracted to that woman, but, you know, Andy's making some sense here. I'd be a fool to get myself into that position. And yes, you would. And I don't think you're fools, so don't be foolish. So I'm going to finish this video around about after this reason, because this is a reason that can't be downplayed. It's a really important reason, and if you've made it all the way to this point, and like I said, this is quite a long video, thank you, I appreciate that. But what I'm telling you is stuff I think you need to hear. And the final reason is, above everything else, that this woman has really done to you, but really you've done to yourself, is that she's taken you off of your purpose. What is truly important to you? Excuse me. You have purpose. You have goals that you want to reach. There are things you want to do in your life, and to do them, you know it takes hard work and graft and grind and money to do. Whilst you're involved with this single mother, she wants all of that time, graft, energy, money for herself and her child. She's taking you off of your purpose. For however long that you're with her, you will not be focusing on the goals that are important to you, whether that's in career or personal lives or fitness, any of the reasons that you can think for yourself. I can't list them all because you're all individuals and you have your own goals, their own things that you want to do. But she will be taking you off of that purpose so that you can spend time on her and her child. But you are not her number one priority. We covered that earlier. You are not even high up in her number of priorities. So why would you let her take you off of your purpose? This is super important, guys, and you need to take it on board. Your purpose is the most important thing to you. Become your number one goal. Become your number one focus in getting what you want. And being with a single mother isn't it. That is not your goal. I've never met a man in my life who said his perfect partner would be somebody who already has children. I've never met a man who said that. I've met men who are with women who have already got children, and I can honestly say that some of them seem happy, but they're not ecstatic. But your goals, your laser vision should be on what you want to achieve, not what somebody else wants to achieve from them and needs you to get there. So she takes you off of your purpose. She takes you off of your goals, your aspirations. Don't let anybody do that. Don't let your friends do that. Never mind a woman who's coming with this baggage of single. And it is baggage. It's all downsized. It weighs her down and she wants your help in lifting it. Stop it. Stop it. Make yourself your priority and leave single women where they should be. Single women. Single women. Of course you should date single women. Single mothers. I do apologise. I did that in another video. She's a single mother. Let her stay where she is as a single mother. Sorry, I'm chuckling to myself. Single women. As a single mother. And get yourself a single woman who is fit, feminine and cooperative. Somebody who can add to your life. Somebody who you can introduce with pride that this is my woman. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I hope you've got something from this. I hope it's put your mind into gear on what you should really prioritise about. I hope it has helped you to stop yourself from making a terrible, life-changing, destructive decision for you. Because that's what this channel's about. That's why I make these videos. I put the information out there. What you do with it is entirely up to you. But if I can change just one man's life for the better, stop him from making a terrible decision, encourage him to concentrate on himself and make himself a better man, a stronger man, a more confident man, a man of decisions. I've done my job, and every one of these videos has been worth it. Every bit of time that I've put into making these videos and put out there has been worth it. For just one man to change for the better, it's worth it. Because we need to start changing society for the better for men. At the moment, it is a broken flush and it's a terrible place to be in for a man. We know this. It's never been particularly great, but at the moment, the pendulum has swung so much in favour of women that we are now the villain in every piece. And I'm sick and tired of that, and I know my brothers out there are sick and tired of that. If you are sick and tired of it, hit the like button. Come on, let me know with a like. Also, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. Tell me, have you been in this situation? Have you got involved with a single mother and then realised just how bad a deal it was for you? Let the other brothers know your experience. Let them know that what I'm saying is right. Anyway, I'm going for a cup of tea because I think I've earned one. And you, my brothers out there, you take care of yourself, because if you don't, who will? And I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.